Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to import a surface into QGIS and transfer it over to Civil 3D. So the first thing you'll want to do is search QGIS if you don't have it downloaded. And you'll want to click download. And you'll want to install the latest version for Windows. I already have it downloaded. I'm not going to go through that process, but it's just your standard typical downloading process. And after you get that downloaded, you want to come on over to USGS. And you'll want to launch the National Map Viewer. You'll want to click down to download. And you'll be using elevation products. You'll want to zoom in. You can zoom in whatever you want, but I want to zoom in on Tuscaloosa. And to see the imagery behind it, you'll click this button and you'll do USGS Imagery Topo. And you know what? We're going to do Bryant-Denny Stadium. Haven't done that one. So, and we're going to be using 1 meter DEM. Make sure to uncheck all these. Do 1 meter DEM. Well, I already have a TIFF file downloaded, but I'm just going to focus on Bryant-Denny for right now. So you'll want to do show availability. We have a lot of data available, and you want to search products. And you'll see, zoom out a little bit. There we go. So since we have these two available, I would go with the most up to date, which is this one right here. So after you find the one that you want, you'll just want to, I'm not going to go through this process, it's a big file. It'll take a few minutes depending on your internet connection to download, but you'll want to click download link TIFF. And once you get that downloaded, we're going to come on into QGIS. And I have found the easiest way. Yeah, don't mind all these files. I've been troubleshooting. Go and delete these. Oh, maybe I'll select if I don't have all caps. Okay, there we go. Delete all these files. Deleted the wrong ones. Hang on. Bear with me. Alright. There we go. So, the easiest way I found to do this is just to drag your TIFF file into QGIS. Okay. So now once you have your file into QGIS, you'll want to go to plugins and manage and install plugins, then let it connect. And you'll want to download Quick Map Services. So I can go ahead and search it, and it'll come up this, and you'll go through a downloading process. It's pretty self-explanatory. And you may have to, after you download it, you may have to come back in and recheck it. And once you do that, it'll add it to this ribbon, and you'll want to come to the Quick Map Services. And I'm sure you can use Bing or any of these others, but I always just use Google Satellite for the imagery. And so now, you have your surface, you have your TIFF file, just covering up the map. You really can't see anything, so we're going to turn that off, and we're just going to zoom in on an area. Let's see. Does it cover this far? It does cover this far. So we're just going to do the Highway 82 University Boulevard interchange. So how to do that, how to get this into a smaller piece of data, we're going to clip raster by extent, or come over to process toolbox first and search clip raster by extent, and that's your input layer. And your clipping extent, you want to do draw map on canvas, and I'm just going to select this area. And okay. And we're going to come down here to clipped extent. I'm going to save it to a file. I'm going to call it Highway 82. Click save, and you'll run it. So now you have your area that you clipped. And we're going to click out of the main TIFF file. And to make sure this is in the correct coordinate system, we're going to come on over to Warp Reproject. Once again, you'll search this in the toolbox. And your target CRS, your coordinate system, will be this right here. So you want to click on that. Come on down, do the same thing. call it something. I'm gonna call it Highway 82 reprojected, if I can spell. Alright, and we're gonna run that. Okay, everything ran good. So now we're gonna close this one. And you see over here, you see 91.5 and 73.6. This is in meters. We need to get this into feet, and how we'll do that is come up here to raster and click raster calculator, and we're going to click on our correct layer, and we're going to multiply it by 3.28 to get feet. And our output layer, we'll call it Highway 82 correct units. Make sure your coordinate system is correct, and we're going to click OK. So now we have our correct units. So what we just did, it transferred our TIFF file into a GeoTIFF file. You can't transfer a Civil 3D, or you can't transfer a GeoTIFF file into Civil 3D. So now we're going to come over to Translate, Convert Format. Once again, you want to search it in the Processing toolbox. Make sure we have our correct input layer, and convert. So we're going to save the file, and we're going to reconvert this back to a TIFF file. So I'm going to call it Highway 82 TIFF. Run it. Everything ran good. So we're going to uncheck that one. So now we have our final TIFF file that we're going to use to create our service in Civil 3D. So now we're going to come on over to Civil 3D, and you'll want to come here to Surfaces, and you'll want to right click, do Create Surface from DIM, and make sure you have your files at top because you're importing your TIFF file. Make sure that's correct, and we're going to import our most up-to-date file. Click Open. Alright, so it's done building our grid surface, and sometimes it won't pop up after saying that. So how to see your surface, you want to do Z, enter, E, enter for extent, and there's your surface. So everything came in good. So now you'll want to assign your coordinate system in Civil 3D. So how to do that is just do map C assign, and it'll take a little bit. Well, popped up automatic. Okay, and just search Alabama, and the coordinate system you're going to use is this one right here. Is your Alabama State Plain West Zone. See, Tuscaloosa County is in the Alabama State West Plain. So, and you want to make sure you select US feet. All right. So we assign that coordinate system to our surface. And now we're going to come up to geolocation and come up to map and do imagery. And there's our surface. So that's how you know everything came in good. So, and that's it.